Would I be the asshole if I told someone about a mistake in their tattoo? I just saw someone I know post a photo of their tattoo on social media. It is a nice tattoo, but has an obvious mistake that shows that they only tattooed it for aesthetics and don't actually know much about it. Think along the lines of misspelling a word in another language that you don't speak, or getting a tattoo of a chemical compound but getting the elements wrong. It is obvious to someone who knows the theory behind it, but to others it just looks nice. On one hand, I feel like there is no good thing that can come from telling them. They are excited about the tattoo and would be upset if they knew it was wrong. It is also not easily fixable unless covered up. On the other hand, I think I'd want to know. And also, there is just that part of me that really has to tell them about it /**, not to be mean. It just bugs me to see it, and I really have to refrain myself from telling them. Maybe I'll wait until the new tattoo honeymoon phase is over? Would I be the asshole if I told them about it? Edit 1. They are a friend. I phrased it weirdly when I edited the text because of the "if you do not know the person you are in conflict with in real life" rule, but made it more confusing, sorry. Edit 2. You are correct. Thank you. I was too caught up in how much it bugs me. But I need to get over myself. And yes, I know that too much little stuff bugs me. I am serious about wanting to be told if I was her, but again, that is about me. It's sheet music. WIBTA. Just let it be. It just bugs me to see it. Then don't look. There is just that part of me that really has to tell them about it /*, not to be mean. It just bugs me to see it, and I really have to refrain myself from telling them. Get a grip. The fact you say it is someone you know suggests they aren't a particularly close friend, possibly merely an acquaintance rather than friend. As such, all that'll probably happen is you unable to tell them without coming across slightly smug about it, leaving them feeling shit, that they have something incorrect permanently / on their body. Just forget about it and move on. / yes, we know laser removal exists. I would not tell anything if I see a poppy flower with 12 petals instead of 5. No big deal. But if this is an exotic lettering supposed to say bravery, but instead saying dumbass, I would let them know. So it depends on the severity of the mistake. You are the asshole for burying the lead and not just saying in the OP that the error is in a piece depicting sheet music. You let people think it was potentially something really embarrassing or offensive, so that it skews votes your way. Nobody is going to be examining her tattoo in depth, trying to figure out which song it is. They'll say it looks lovely and ask. And she can happily say the song title and her story / reason for getting it. And that's the important part about the tattoo, not the accuracy. I read sheet music and understand musical theory, and would not want to ruin this person's enjoyment of their body by correcting them. Let it be. Tattoos are aesthetic. Pointing this out serves no one but your ego. You are the asshole, and you know that. It's so clear from the last paragraph. You're double the asshole for seeking approval here for what you know is an asshole move. It's a mistake in the notation of a musical rhythm. And also, there is just that part of me that really has to tell them about it /*, not to be mean. It just bugs me to see it, and I really have to refrain myself from telling them. You sound like one of those people who has to announce the smallest fault in anything they see. WIBTA, let it go. Ada, for my classmate messing up her exam because of something I said. So I, 20 male, and she, 20 female, are both in a nursing school and giving our semester final exam. We sit on a same bench. Today we had physiology exam, where we must answer some short questions, 15 malarks, and the 2 essay questions, 20 marks. The pass marks is 60%. So the major pass marks is depending on the essay questions. Before writing, she told me she can answer only 1 essay question. There's a math-like essay question where we have to show how oxygen is transported from environment to cell, showing the pressure differences in different sites. In the calculation, the values should be divided by 40. Before the end of exam, she asked me to clarify the accuracy of the process. I quickly said the numbers should be divided by 40 because I was trying not to get caught by the invigilator. After the exam, she checked the answer and realized she misunderstood me. She thought I meant all the values should be 40. She became devastated and was accusing me of confusing her. She even created a scene in the elevator, saying I'm the reason she will fail. People around us were shocked and uncomfortable. When I was returning home, I was feeling very bad for her. Called her to explain, but she was crying and told me not to contact her. So there's a guilt in me that I should have explained properly. What do you think, y'all? 1. It was an exam. She should have been prepared. 2. You should have ignored her when she tried to cheat. 3. She had no right to cause a scene because she tried to cheat and still got it wrong. 4. Cheating in general is wrong. She tried to cheat. You tried to help her cheat. Everyone sucks here for cheating. Both of you need to go reread your code of conduct and be grateful you're not being automatically failed for the exam and referred for a fitness to practice hearing. You're both cheaters. She shouldn't have asked. You shouldn't have answered. Shut up and take your exam. Anyway, it sounds a bit like she'd have failed the test anyway. And she's being pretty stupid to blab about this to everyone. Good luck keeping this news from getting to the proctor. The most horrifying part of this is that you can pass anything with a 60% grade while training for a role where if you make a mistake people can be seriously injured or killed. Yes, you shouldn't have answered her at all. She was cheating and you kinda helped her, though since she misunderstood, no harm really done. Hope she's never my nurse, uneasy face. Am I the asshole for leaving my mum alone at a restaurant on her birthday without paying? Perhaps important context to preface my 17M. Father died a few months ago, long story, so we all haven't really been in the best place. After my dad died, I immediately got a part-time job alongside school to help out, and had saved up some money. It was my mum's birthday, so I decided to treat her to a meal at a restaurant. We get there and place our orders, and they take perhaps a bit longer than usual, but not that long, to come out. When our food arrives, my mum makes a snarky comment to the waitress about the service time, and the waitress apologizes, saying they are short-staffed today. The waitress leaves, and I thought that was the end of that. After eating her starter, my mum notices they made her main wrong, and immediately gets up and goes to find the waitress again. I beg her not to make a scene, but she ignores me. She was not satisfied with the waitress' initial response, and began publicly berating her. It became a very one-sided screaming match. Amongst other things I can't write here, she called her a WH/re, B/TCH, and asked her if she was so ret/ride that she couldn't follow basic instructions. She was screaming about how her husband had just died, and she just wanted to have a nice birthday, but it was ruined thanks to this racial slur I won't repeat, but which I have never ever heard her say in my life before this. The waitress was already crying by this point. The manager tried to throw my mum out, and threatened to call the police. She wouldn't leave, so he called them. Honestly, at this point I was just so mortified and embarrassed that I got my stuff, apologized to the waitress, and gave her all the cash in my wallet, which would have been enough to cover what I ordered, but not much beyond that. If I had stayed I would have paid by card, and walked out of the place and took the bus home. My mum had driven us there. When she got home she was fuming and started screaming at me, saying that if I had taken her side it wouldn't have gotten to that point, and I should have at least tried to de-escalate the situation, as I knew it was her birthday, and she hasn't been doing well recently. I told her that I had never seen such poor behavior, and that she acted appallingly, and that for someone of her age who is supposed to be a role model, she should be ashamed. She then threw my phone on the floor and grounded me, until I understand family values. So, Reddit, what could I have done differently here? Am I the asshole for just straight up ditching her, and then talking back to her when she got home? Should I have given her more grace? There's no excuse for either racism, or for berating service staff. This shouldn't be your problem, but you said you'd never heard your be racist before, and you are 17. So, would you say this is really out of character? It may well be that your mum's mental health is suffering after your bereavement, and she needs some help. Again, this shouldn't be your problem, not least as you are so deeply bereaved. 2. But is there another adult you could raise this with, who could get her some help? I'm so sorry for your loss. You sound like a loving, supportive son, and your mom is lucky to have you. That being said, she needs help. Much more help than you and internet strangers can provide. She is lost in her grief and lashing out. If this is as out of character as you said, she needs professional help ASAP before her behavior compounds the bad situation she finds herself in. Do you have a trusted adult you can ask for help from? Does she have a support network you can call and share how volatile she is with? The state she is in is dangerous. Acting that way with the wrong person could end tragically. I wish you health and happiness. I hope you both find peace and comfort in your memories with your dad. You were right to leave. Your mom displaced her anger about her husband dying onto the waitress. Your mom needs to head to therapy to figure out why she did that and learn coping skills so she never does that again. She obviously is not dealing well with the death of a loved one. Not the asshole. Having just lost her husband doesn't give her the right to be an asshole. Especially a racist one. You did the right thing saying something to your mom. You are not the asshole at all. I'm worried though that as this is completely new behavior for your mom after a trauma, that she may be heading into a crisis/breakdown situation. Is there anyone you can go to talk to about this? She needs help fast, and it is much bigger than you. If there are family members or other adults you trust, get them involved ASAP. Make sure you have your local crisis line number at hand. You are in no way the asshole, and it sounds like it might be much more than you can handle on your own. Do you have any other support system? Not the asshole. You're a minor. Your mom is making you older than you are. She is also grieving. I would advise counseling for her to deal with your father's death. Everyone grieves differently. However, your mom going off like that in a public place is a sign she needs help, and she may not be ready to be out in public yet. Am I the asshole for embarrassing a man at a party and upsetting my friend? Recently, I went to a party with a friend, I'll call her L, where I didn't know anyone else but her. Usually, that would be an absolute no for me, but she really likes a guy, let's call him J, who was going, so after some begging, I agreed. While she was talking to the guy she likes, a man started to talk to me. It turns out, this was the host of the party and a close friend of J, but I didn't know this at the time. He asked what I do for a living, and I said that I have an art business. Without asking any follow-up questions, he immediately started talking about how if I'm not harnessing the power of social media, my business is doomed to fail. The thing is, I get all my business through social media and have almost 300K followers across different apps. I tried to explain that I'd use social media, but he cut me off. He went into a rant about how he has a very successful Instagram account and how I am probably following wrong and outdated advice. He went on and on about content strategies, SEO, and everything else, which I all know about and use successfully. I know I should have probably stopped him there, but he really wasn't giving me time to reply to anything he was saying. By the end of his almost 10-minute rant, it probably wasn't that long, but it sure felt like it. A few other people nearby were also listening. At this point I was annoyed, so I asked him, if you are so successful, could I see your Instagram page so I can learn some more tips? His account had around 20K followers. He told me to show him my account, and if I have potential, he can take me out for dinner and teach me his secrets. I showed my Instagram account, which has over 150K followers. A couple of people around asked to see and were complimenting my work. Some of them laughed when they saw the difference in followers between us. He mumbled something I couldn't hear and walked away, mad and embarrassed. He went to L and J. L came over to me upset, saying I embarrassed her for bragging about my follower count and that I should just leave. I really don't like to brag about my followers. I know it doesn't mean everything, and I'm so grateful for every follower I have. I was just really annoyed in the moment. L texted me later, saying I should have just ended the conversation before it got to that point, or made it clear that I knew what I was doing, because by letting him talk for so long, it was embarrassing when he was just trying to help. Some of my other friends laughed and said I did nothing wrong and that he was the one trying to brag. I probably should have just interrupted him at some point, but he really didn't give me a moment to speak. I also would have tried to be more tactful if I knew this was a close friend of the guy my friend likes. I did apologize to my friend, but the guy has now been giving her the cold shoulder, so she's still upset. Am I the asshole? Should I have handled this differently? Not the asshole. You didn't embarrass this guy. He embarrassed himself. Honestly, you were passive in this whole encounter, it sounds. He requested to see your account, and you honored his request. Fragile fucking male egos, man. Not the asshole mansplainers gotta splain. He embarrassed himself. You did nothing wrong. He was looking to brag to little clueless you. She's not really your friend if she's giving you such a hard time for stitch that is not your fault. Not the asshole. You nuked a mansplainer. That is always a worthy endeavor. Not the asshole. Have you read Men Explain Things to Me? Sometimes it is just not possible to get someone to stop talking to you, even when you tell them outright that you're not interested or you already know what they're saying. Maybe he'll have learned a valuable social interaction skill from this. Don't shrink yourself for insecure men. Obviously not the asshole.